all set. Just make sure that the game audio is in here. Alright, so yeah, we're going back to play some Epic. And it's Friday, which means there's a new arena we have constructed. So I'm going to try and play some games of constructed in the arena. But otherwise, I'll just be playing quick play. So yeah, let's see what we have here. I think that I kind of want to play another game with this dinosaur deck. Maybe at least one more before I give it a rest. And then I'll maybe make another deck and try something a little different. We'll take a deck that I played with that didn't have any duels cards in it, and we'll try and update it to be with these new duels cards. But basically what this deck is about is it's a wild and evil deck, and we're just playing big things, and we're replaying them over and over again. I've played it before, just kind of had an itch to play it again, so let's hop in there. Alright, we're up against Cartador. So basically, our big heavy hitters in this deck, we've got from Wild, we have Raging T-Rex, Kong, Strafing Dragon, and Pyrosaur. Just get rid of that. We're going first here, so I want to try and hit Loyalty 2 for this T-Rex, or I could go for a Gudgeon play. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try and find T-Rex Loyalty. So just mulligan these three. I have a pretty high chance of hitting Wilds with each card draw, so it's a very good chance that I get a Loyalty 2 for this T-Rex here. And we're all set, so we're just going to play this T-Rex out, reveal these two wild cards, and then pass the turn. We have a slight Sage Splash here, mostly just because we want to run this Misguide Herald. They're going to Urgent Messengers. So they might be some kind of token deck, or they could just be some kind of slow or control deck that likes to stall with these token cards. Oh yeah. I'll just have to change that. I'll wait until after this game's over. Alright, looks like they are some kind of human token deck. They're going to make a lot of human tokens here. Interesting. We actually don't have a play to make here, so what I'm going to do is use Wither or Consume, and then Frantic Digging to find more cards to play. So I think what we'll do is we'll consume the Thrasher Demon. We'll go ahead and Frantic Digging away this Angel of Death, which I don't think will be important. I'll recycle both of those. But we found a play to make, so we'll spend our gold on this. And then I could Wither away these human tokens, so I think I'm going to save the Wither, if possible. Alright, so from this point, I mean, I probably am just going to go for the Wither anyway here, just because it forces them to either take 12 or we can Lash. They have to spend their gold first, and then we can Strafing Dragon and Lash them. Basically, the Strafing Dragon, when you play it, you can deal 5 damage to your target, so we can either use it to take down this Rabble Rouser, or we can use it to attack Cartador. But because there wasn't any kind of counterplay here, we're just going to Kong that. We might have a Banish All played on us, which is, could be rough, but it's not the end of the world. We're running a little light on plays here. We don't have any way to draw more cards. So we're looking to find, another T-Rex or a Gudgeon. Probably run out this Dark One's Apprentice if we get board cleared here. Blood. I don't want to play anything here. I could play this Dark One's Apprentice, but we have so much on board already, it doesn't really add anything. I'm Alright. How do we want to handle this? I think we're just going to attack and see if they want to just jump or if they're going to play something. We can remove it with the Strafing Dragon, or if they make a lot of tokens, we might go for some kind of consume Pyrosaur play. How's it going, Cash? Long time no see. Yeah. Otherwise, I think we'd say we're in a pretty good spot here. We have health advantage, we have card advantage, and we have a lot of things in play. Usually decks that have Drinker Blood in them play around this Drinker Blood effect. Oh, they're just going to do that. We're going to deal 12. Alright. Sounds good to me. I mean, very close to lethal here. I think we can just deal 2 more, and then we can kill them with Pyrosaur, or 1 more and we can kill them with Strafing Dragon. Didn't spend their gold there, so it's possible they didn't realize Answer Below makes 2 zombies expended, so they can't block right away. Choosing to take it. Alright. I think they're just conceding. We got there. Big champions. Oh, you can't access your friends list? Let me see about that. Challenge. Alright, well. Send it a bug report. And, I guess we'll see about the next update. Alright, back to the arena. Thank you for calling that out. Alright, we're just going to hop into this. We're going to see if we can get, see how far we can take this deck. And then, like I said, I'll be updating one of the previous decks that I played. Going to see if we can make it more dually. Since it's been interesting seeing people attach to certain favorites. I've been seeing a lot more human token decks in general. I think people are really like the Mobilize, which is the 0 cost make 3 human tokens card. Pull my deck list from the stream so far. Get an old one here. Yeah, we could do a 0 cost champions deck that bounces. I made one of those a long time ago, and I played it a very small amount. The games can be very long sometimes, but I think that would be fun to update. There's some new cards. There's some new 0 cost champions. There's some new bounce cards. There's a new 0 cost bounce champion. So I'm not seeing anything here. I'm just gonna quick match it, and then I'll start making edits. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll. Just going to cannibalize one of these deck slots. Let's just cannibalize that Daddy's deck here. I'm gonna call this. It was Bouncy House before, so we're just gonna call it Bounce 2. Not the most creative name, but you know. We have a deck to work with. Alright, so basically what this deck was doing was it was relying on Time Walker and Reset. So these two cards both return all other champions to their owner's hand. And then you just really abuse these zero-cost champions like Keeper of Secrets, Shadow Imp, Force Mage Apprentice. What we're trying to do is play them multiple times in the same turn. We're trying to get this critical mass of zero-cost champions in our hand so that we can just replay them all at the same time. Yeah, bounce 2, that's right. So creative. Alright. But one of my favorite cards in this deck was the Corpse Taker. This is because when you play it, you get another champion back from your discard pile, so it's like drawing a card. And you can just do that many times over the course of the game. It really adds up. So I think what we're going to do is make it around this. Very similar to this. We'll call this, actually really, I'll be honest, I really prefer to just start from scratch. I think it was good to take a look at that, but for some inspiration. But yeah, I can't remove and add cards very easily. I always just rebuild it from the ground up. So we've got 3 options now. We used to have 2. So we have Reset and Time Walker. So Reset is an event that bounces all champions to the owner's hand. The player whose turn it is draws a card. Time Walker is a champion that does that if you have Loyalty 2. And then we also have Evict. Evict is a new event from Duels, which returns all champions to their owner's hand if it's your turn. And then you also make the opponent discard a card. This is going to be something like our base. And I'm just going to save this here so that when we get pulled into a game here, I have something to remind me. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a look at the free champions first. Actually, that's where I want to start. Free champions. Now, free champions that have really good tribute abilities. That's where I'm looking. But also, sometimes there's a champion, it doesn't have a tribute ability, but it does kind of act like a tribute, like Force Mage Apprentice. Doesn't have a tribute ability, but you play it and you can use it right away to deal damage to a champion or to a player. So we could do something where we're playing Sage. We definitely want Sage, right, for all of these bounce cards. We could play Sage and Evil. We could play Sage. I don't think Good quite has that much exciting things happening for us. And we could play Wilds. And Wild has some direct damage. We have the new Javelin Thrower here. So that could be pretty exciting. And we could also just run 1-cost cards. I suppose the nice thing about playing Good is that it has a lot of nice 1-cost champions that we don't mind returning to our hand, like Angel of Light. So maybe we'll try and make this more of a control deck, and we'll rely on the health gain here. So just go ahead and we'll say Guild Demon is a good choice. I'm not sure if it's Guild Demon or Eager Necromancer. This one eats 3 cards, but this one is like a threat. It's a continuous threat. We'll start with the Eager Necromancer. We'll start with some new Duels cards. And then from Sage here, I think we definitely want to have Keeper of Secrets. Keeping your opponent off their discard pile is generally a very strong plan if your deck can go the long game. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so I have 1 foil Watchful Gargoyle from an arena or something else. And I have 3 regular ones. Because you can't put more than 3 copies of a card into a deck. So I think what we're going to do is, right now, we're going to flush out our... we'll go ahead and we'll by default say that we want Rescue Griffin. I mean, not Rescue Griffin, Watchful Gargoyle. Because I think what we're going to try and do is make the Sage is the central color, but then also just splash cards so that we have some good zeros in other colors. And we want Sage to be our main color because that's where all the bounce is. And that's basically it. That's the reason. We could definitely do something, Sage and Evil, where you're returning things to hand and then also putting them into play a lot, like reanimation style. But I think it's also good to use health gain. Just in general, health gain's pretty useful if you're trying not to die. So things like the Gudgeon are great because this is a draw to, and then later we can, if it comes back to our hand, that's fine. So we can play something like the Gudgeon and Street Swindler, right? This is the new duels card that draws you to. So we're really going to just shove these pseudo champions in our deck where the real value is when they come into play. And if they come back to our hand, incidentally, that's just good value. Just to replay them later. And then we want some way to use we use the fact that we have so many cards in hand, so we want just raw power generally. So things like answers, basically. Things that we can lose cards in our hand and then get ahead on the board or in health total. So I think Dark One's Apprentice is going to be great here for the health gain, and it just gives us an ambush play. And then what do we have? We have 9 1s and 6 zeros, so let's go ahead and pick another one. We probably could play the champion that's board clear. That doesn't require loyalty, and bring a ritualist so that we are not using any loyalties right now. Even though that one doesn't really give you an advantage if it goes back to your hand. We could play Deathbringer. I'm not sure if that's too slow. I don't think we want to run loyalties in this deck because we're not going to have that many evil cards. Like, I think this is probably good for evil for now. I'm not even sure if we'll have any more evil than this. Maybe we'll end up putting in Drain Essence or something. Alright, so we're going to go back over to Sage here. Just going to resave this again. Alright, it's coming along. Watch Gargoyle. So like this could be an Angel of Light deck. I'm just not sure what... We could just use the Banish Target Champion effects. So we could use Palace Guard and the other one's called Bounty Hunter, I think. Because honestly, just banishing champions, again, it's like preemptively attacking their discard pile. So we can go ahead and try that. We'll go ahead and play Palace Guard, Bounty Hunter. We're playing the comeback cards, basically. Palace Guard. If I can find it. It's alphabetical, but for some reason, I always struggle with finding certain cards. Alright, we have Palace Guard right here. We actually have 3 foils for this, so we can just put all of our foils in. And I'm going to play Noble Unicorn as just another way of drawing cards. And then I think we'll end up playing Angel of Light, just because even if we only gain 5 health off of it, it's still fine. So it's another good champion for us to return to our hand. Right, look at our free 0/0. We want another 3. So if we have Watchful Gargoyle, we'll probably just run Priestess Evangeline. Another recycle 0. I'm not sure if we can fit Brand into this deck. It is a lot of health to gain. It's nice to gain 5 health. We can test it. We'll test out Brand. I'm not so sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about this, but we'll give it a shot. We're experimenting. Alright, so now we have most of our deck done. If we do 12 3 times, it's 36. So that means we're probably just going to have the rest be Sage. We definitely want some off-turn plays. I'm thinking... Well, I'm definitely thinking we can play Misguide Herald in this deck, because we have so many champions. They're all 1-cost champions. And we can play Lessons Learned. Well, we have, what, Evict, Reset? I guess that's it for events, so maybe not. We might want some kind of soft clear. We don't usually need to worry about their hand, because it's going to be full of cards. So we're going to want to rely on tempo, controlling the board. Basically, we just want to shove stuff on the board. They're going to shove stuff on the board, and we're going to be fine with that. So what we're probably going to do then is play Soulstorm. Actually, this is going to be a great board wipe in our deck, because we're very frequently going to have that one utility champion that's out in play, and they're going to kind of flood the board with all of their extra cards in hand, and then we can just blow them out. And right now we are at 36, 39, so we need one more Sage card. That costs a gold. Probably a champion, maybe a Chronicler. safe utility pick. And I'm not sure that Time Walker is going to be playable here with this few Sage cards because you can't really use it if you don't have a Sage in hand. So I might cut the Time Walker and play something like Temporal Enforcer, which is still playable without the value, right? If you can't loyalty to it, then you can still play a Sage card later and return a 0 cost to hand. You can still attack for 6. So we're gonna go ahead and just cut those and play Temporal Enforcers. It's possible this deck really wants something like Veldin, I'm not sure. We're just going to test it out. Alright, and then for 0s for Sage. We want more champions. We want some Force Mage Apprentices so we can deal small stuff. And we have another 2 slots. So I'm thinking we'll just do deal 2 damages. Looks good to me. Alright, maybe we'll go down 1 Keeper of Secrets, 1 up 1 Lightning Mage because we don't have that many Sage cards. So you will want to play the Keeper of Secrets with another Sage 1 cost card. Alright, this looks good. Let's go ahead and try this out. Ounce 2. Time Thief. Time Thief, why do I have 1? Time Thief is a good choice. I think the really nice thing about... Look, we really want our cards to answer more than one thing. We have so much card advantage already. I don't think we're going to run out of cards in hand. Like, we probably want to cut down on that. So Temporal Enforcer and Time Thief are actually quite similar. But Temporal Enforcer is unblockable, which will matter a lot. I think that we're frequently going to play on a board that has more stuff than us, and then we're going to Temporal Enforcer, attack for 6, and then they spend their gold to remove our Temporal Enforcer, and then we just clear the board with like an Evict or something. So overall, I also think that the way we have things set up, we're not going to, we're definitely not going to always bounce everything, because we only have 6 out of our 60. That's 1 out of every 10 cards. So, I mean, a lot of the time we'll just play a normal deck, and we'll just draw that 1 card that bounces everything, and then we can build our game plan around that as we see it. I'm not sure if this is going to go well. I honestly don't know. Alright, but it looks like we just queued into a game of random 30. Yes. So that's what we're going to be playing. First, I'm going to play this Mythic Monster as my opening play here. And then I have a Rage here to draw 2 cards. We don't want the Recycle in our opening hand. And we probably don't need the Sea Titan either for the centerpiece. We could keep the Sea Titan, but it's not really a hard answer. And the Mythic Monster is a better opening, so I'd rather find an off-turn play like Piece of Removal or just something that you can play off-turn. This is interesting. I'm actually going to change my play here and start with the Thrasher Demon. I'll explain why. This card you really want to play on an empty board because it grows and because it gets stopped by mid-sized champions like Demons so easily. But if it gets blocked by a big champion, if they only have big champions in their hand and they block it, their big champion gets broken. I did think about Avenging Angel, don't worry. We'll have to see how it goes. If my opponent plays something here, they spend their gold, then I can Sky Serpent, and I can hit them for 9 for free. If they don't do that, if they take the 3, I'm passing. If they remove this for 0, I have a good 1 cost play to establish with Mythic Monster. So honestly, I think this is just the best time to play this card. If I play Mythic Monster right now, Thrasher Demon and Sky Serpent might just get stuck in my hand. So, especially in random 30, you're going to adapt with what you have in your hand. Figure out a game plan. We are up against someone that's here. They just mulligan 0. Yeah, they just mulligan 0. Yeah, I forgot to change it again. I'll change it. I swear. One of these days. That's my bad. I'll change it. Thank you for reminding me. Alright, looks like they're going to remove that Thrasher Demon here. So we're just going to go ahead and play our Blitz Champion. We're going to banish our discard pile. Usually you want to save Amnesia. Whenever you play cards for Cycle, you want to have 2 other cards in your discard pile. So right now there is an undo button, so for example, let's say I attack. I'm like, oh wait. I can just go back. I can go back as much as I want up until you give your opponent information. So as soon as I attack with this and then pass my opponent, and now they see me play this and attack with it. And I can't back up anymore because if my opponent did something and I could back up, I'd be able to undo their actions. I think I can probably just change it here. Alright, I fixed it. We should be all set. Alright, but that was a quick game. I think that my opponent there was just trying things out. Sometimes learning the phases can be tricky because you can attack multiple times. Oh, got an arena game? Perfect. We're gonna join with our dinosaur deck. We're still cute as that. See if we can't get a good arena game in here. Good back and forth. I do have to say that, especially recently, this deck has been one of my favorites. So the opponent's going first here, so we're going to keep 1 Dark One's Apprentice. This will be a play that we make if they play something like a Fire Shaman. This is a great counter to that. We're going to toss these other 2 cards. We don't want another one of it copy in case this card isn't useful. And Necromancer Lord is a lake card. We're also going to toss the Frantic Digging. We don't usually want to keep cards that recycle in our opening hand. As a backup land, we can play this Rage to draw 2 cards. This deck is pretty greedy, so that means it runs evil loyalties and wild loyalties. But I think that's honestly a lot of the fun. And one of the reasons we play Frantic Digging here is it helps us find our loyalties. Let's say I don't draw a wild card here. I can Frantic Digging away one of my evil cards to draw 2 for a wild card. But we did find one, so we're just going to play this. Even though it brings us to 8 cards. That's fine. We'll just discard one of these Dark One's Apprentices. We don't need 2 still. Alright. Just like the last game. It was a different hurricane. See ya, Snokeling. Alright. It actually ended up working out for us pretty well here because we're going to be discarding 1 to maximum hand size. I'm just going to get rid of this Strafing Dragon, I think. I don't think that we're going to be able to keep the wild loyalty in hand for it. I think I'm just going to Wolfspite that right away, right now. Cycle. Just in case they have a Brave Squire in hand or something. Get some value. And if they final task it, then they'll Dark One's Apprentice it. We're all set. Deathbringer. I guess it's taking down our T-Rex. Alright. I kinda wish I had that T-Rex. I think what we're doing is we're just playing this Gudgeon here, but because we don't have a great play in hand, I'm going to frantic taking away one of these Dark One's Apprentices. Alright, and we just found a much better play. Dark One's Apprentice and Consume to take that down. This deck has a lot of incremental health gains, so it's very good at stabilizing against aggressive decks. One of the reasons I like playing this deck recently is that you're not you can win from behind, and you can snowball, and you've got some powerful cards, and you've got a lot of card advantage, so you can just sift through your deck. You have a lot of options to play, and if you get really far behind, you can make a comeback. Kaiser Rebellion's going to take that down and draw a card. We don't have a Punisher, but we are probably going to do something fancy. I guess we're just going to play Gudgeon here. Draw 2 cards. So we got the surprise attack here, so we can surprise attack Necromancer Lord on their turn if we want. Could banish this discard pile as well. I'm not going to, because there's a decent chance that I actually Necromancer Lord that Thought Plucker. I can give them a taste of their own medicine. There's something extra satisfying about randomating your opponent's Thought Plucker. Alright, they're just sending it. We'll do the Necromancer Lord play anyway. Let's go ahead and reveal just 2 Angels of Death. That way our opponent gets the least amount of information. We're going to grab this Deathbringer here, and we're going to break that. Generally, I preserve health total over card advantage in this deck as long as I'm ahead. But we're about to go to 7 cards in hand, so it's not like I really need a Thought Plucker right now. If this Necromancer Lord gets removed. You know, it's so good about surprise attack Necromancer Lord is you just get to do it again. I'm gonna go ahead and grab probably this Thought Plucker. Just keep coming in. Haven't spent our gold yet. We're absolutely going to pass without spending it, because we don't have a crazy play to make, but also this way if our opponent plays something, we can either Kong it, or we can Necromancer Lord back the Winged Death they just discarded. Wave Transformation. Just going to draw 2 cards. Don't have a Punisher, unfortunately. Oh, I guess we do. Alright, we're gonna play. We're just gonna Necromancer Lord again. We'll just grab your Anguish Demon here. We'll go ahead and come in for 10. Alright. So what happened there is we passed. So our opponent could either pass and just start their turn, or they could spend their gold. And by spending their gold, it backs us up into our turn. And then they got punished. And I love these cards with Blitz on them. They're a little deceptive when you're first learning. But they're really best used when your opponent has already spent their gold and their shield's down. They're going to clear the board here. Don't really have a crazy play to follow that up. We're just gonna have to draw 2 here. They are recycling away their own champions. Don't want me to get any value there. I think we're just Konging this. Fine. We're using Kong as this big champion. This is going to act more as a threat than removal here. I'm going to pass, and then I'm probably going to Heinous Feast to banish their discard pile. Get some health. I'm going to let them play something first, just in case they play like like a smash and burn or something here that I want to banish as well. Because it looks like they're playing more of a rainbow style deck. Ooh, I might get punished. It looks like they're going to, yeah, surprise attack. Misguide Heralds. Misguide Herald's going to find Thought Plucker. Discard the Thought Plucker. Discard an Angel Death because I have to, and the opponent knows about one. I'm gonna go ahead and consume the Thought Plucker right away, and then we're just gonna banish our discard pile, so they can't play any tricks with us. Do we have to bring back our discard pile? Yeah, we do. Fine. Usually when your opponent's discard pile gets so big, scary stuff starts to happen. You might as well just get rid of it when you can. We have another discard pile banishment right here. Only against 3 health because we banished 3 champions. These are looking good. Take this 3 here. We want our opponent to react first. Just like last time when we surprise attacked out the Necromancer Lord. If I had done that when my opponent's gold was up, they probably would have had something like that Hurricane. Take out the Necromancer Lord and the thing I brought back. Whereas here, this is fine. Because what I'm going to do is final task this Necromancer Lord, to bring back Necromancer Lord, to bring back probably this Kong to kill that. Might even invoke back instead for the final task. Don't need to reveal anything because it has splits when you play final task. I'm going to reveal this Fiend's Feast. Now, one of these Necromancer Lords is going to die, but because final task says that you bring back something back to life, but just for the turn, and then it breaks. But it brought back something else. So, oh yeah, it's great. It's a good time, and we're gonna go ahead and just fire that off right again. Might as well. We'll bring back. We're gonna draw 2 off this one. We have plenty of health here. That gives us untargetable, so our discard pile can't be banished, or we can't get hit with like a fireball or something. We've got lethal here, so if this connects, looks like they're going to draw 2. If this connects, they're at 1, and then we just play this and it deals 2 to them. Alright, so after this blocks, we're just going to rage it. Rage is one of those cards I was talking about where it's a great card if you find yourself full on cards a lot, because it just lets you turn a 0-cost card into a ridiculous amount of damage. But and you can use it as a draw 2 as well. Damage each opposing champion and player. That'll finish it off. Alright. This deck's working out great for us. We got a foil feint. Probably just gonna hop back into the arena. See how far we can get with this deck. Not sure if I'm gonna play with that other deck today, but if I don't, then I'll just play with it on Monday. The Bounce 2. You gotta come up with a better name. Anyone have any suggestions? Bounce 3. Trampoline's good. Call it trampoline. Give us a minute and then I'll go change the deck name. It's bad, you know. Sometimes I just start making iterations of decks, and then I start getting to this point where I have, you know, deck name 7, and deck name 6 and deck name 5, and they're all just next to each other. And I have no idea which one's which. Alright, let's change that deck name. Maybe we'll even get a game in with it. Trampoline. I have no idea how this deck is. This deck could be fantastic. It could be terrible. Honestly, I have no clue. I could also try finding a player that's not just playing that you have unlimited amounts of time. But sometimes those end up going, sometimes they end up leaving. We'll give it a shot. Alright, it's been wrong. It's my turn, apparently. Opponent's going first. We're going to hold on to this Noble Unicorn and one of these Palace cards. Otherwise, I actually like the sand a lot. I mean, we have a draw 2. We have a 0 cost that's removal for a small thing. We have removal for a big thing. This is a great hand. Okay. Put the date in your deck names. Benron 0. I have had this problem. I've played against Benron a bunch of times. Sometimes we have these great back and forths, and sometimes I think maybe Benron just queues up for a game and then does something else, and I just wait. Okay. I mean, I have never tried dating. That might help me a lot with my deck organization. At this point, it's just a mess. I have a spreadsheet for my decks that I've been using for the stream, and I've honestly just been plugging some of those back in because a lot of the decks in there are experiments that were not successes. Alright, we're gonna requeue. I want to see if I can get one game with this. Oh, we're up against Benron. Alright, he's there. Alright, Benron, let's do this. Braxa, making 2 demon tokens. Not doing loyalty 2, it makes sense. We are going to go ahead and run out this Noble Unicorn. Then we're going to Palace Guard to draw a card from the Noble Unicorn and get rid of Braxa. Very nice. We have a lot of lightning mages. We have 3 now. I wonder if Benron might just be one of those players that plays a lot of games at the same time. I think I mentioned I can't do that. I kind of have to get focused in on the game that I'm playing. Alright, well, we're going to lose the Palace Guard. The Noble Unicorn is still valuable if it just sticks around. And then we're going to pass. Good attack, but doesn't really do anything. I mean, if it gets double blocked by demon tokens, we have to spend 2 lightning mages. We really want to spend 2 lightning mages or Dark One's Apprentice to take that. We just use the Dark One's Apprentice here.
There is nothing like battle.
Some value. That's what we're all about here. Value. Something went wrong. Probably I queued up against someone at the same time that I left the queue. But yeah, it's not very useful. Should probably say something like, oops, you... I guess it'd be kind of a lot to explain. You were going to be matched with someone, but then you decided to leave the queue. It probably should not even give you an error message, honestly. Alright. Drain Essence. They don't want us to have that Noble Unicorn, which is understandable. Now we can start getting in with our evasive champions. This is where a Soulstorm would be very good, but I'm feeling pretty good about this too. This might be the time where we evict here. We do like a Lightning Mage, Lightning Mage, Lightning Mage, deal 6 to them, and then evict. Be good. Good shot. See how it is. And they discard a card, and then we can replay this Darkman's Apprentice. Kills their demons. A whole lot happens. This is trampling. Yes. Looks like Benron's deciding which to discard here. Probably reading that card because I don't think I've seen people play Evict yet. We're going to pass. We want to hold on to these. Ideally, we just chain these with our bounces. I mean, if we find a really useful time to play them, then we'll play them. But... Nice. Alright, we're in a great spot. With this Darkman's Apprentice and these Lightning Mages, we should be able to take down pretty much anything. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. Start our turn. Don't really want to play... I guess I can play Gudgeon. That's fine. They'll just also draw 2. Yeah, that's good.
For an eye.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I definitely forget. That's why I like to make them from scratch. I'm gonna draw 2 here, and we're gonna see if we can find a target for this Lightning Mage, so we don't have to discard to maximum hand size. But if not, no big deal. We'll probably discard the Soulstorm, so we don't have 2 of them in hand. Really nice about the Gudgeon is that it gives you untargetable. So if Benron here wanted to play a Thought Plucker, I wouldn't have to discard a card. I don't think they're running Direct Burn, but they could be. They have Wild in their deck. I don't know any of their cards. It is very nice. Yeah. I really like it. It's a vast improvement. Benron have? Benron might have a card that they're thinking about playing for its effect, but they really need to use it to draw 2. I'm not sure what that would even be. Or they might be trying to do something and then undoing a lot. Like if they have a plague and they keep shooting it, they keep not knowing that they can't shoot me. Benron Scandal. That's right. telling you, if I ever get into you with one of these types of games, we can just keep going back and forth. That's the best way to do it. I don't know. Some people like to do multiple games at the same time. It's the same with Star Realms. Like I can't have multiple games with Star Realms going at the same time. I just I would lose track. Yeah. Oh, we have some in the arena. We'll see if we can jump into this arena here. If I can get in this arena game in, then this will be my last game. It's a very different playstyle from that other deck. Dinosaur one is so fast and quick. I don't know, maybe they changed their mind. It also might be the case that it's someone that I've played against recently. The system tries not to pair you up against the same person, if it can. It will try not to let that happen. I already found an opponent. Oh well, Benron came back. Wolfspite, Mike. And played a final task to draw 2 cards, I'm guessing. And I'm gonna just toss this out so I don't have to discard a card, I think. I have so many zeros, like I only really need 2. 3's a lot, especially when they all do the same thing. Yeah. That's why I prefer the real-time games, because you actually play through a full game before you play the next one. I don't mind playing against the same person in that case. If we're playing Constructed, I'll just play the same. I'll just play different decks. I don't even remember how those cards got banished. I guess Raxa got banished by Palscard, and these 2 got recycled. For a Wolfspite. Kill me, Benron. You can go back to the previous ones, but this is currently how they're set up. Not sure what this looks like. Just hop into this game here. Yeah, you can use the old playmats if you like. Oh, looks like found nothing. No champions. I just tapped through that really quickly. Alright, that's unfortunate for Ben. We are going to just go ahead and take that down. You really have to have a pretty high champion density to play Misguided Herald. But it's still, this stuff like this still happens. I mean, 3 zeros, surprise stack final task. For the 2 ones that it saw. So yeah, the newer ones are all like that. But if you use they're not if you use the older version. It just since we've updated the UI, we've changed the battle boards a lot, and the new ones haven't. There's not an updated version for each. All right, Snipers Arena game. I'm gonna play some Arena. I wonder if they're just joining right away and then leaving, or something else is happening. It's a little sad. Let's play some Arena. Oh man. We'll try again. Maybe this will ping someone and someone will hop in and join us. Music is so dramatic for a load. Alright, I think that since, yeah, it should be. I agree. I think that since looks like we're reaching the end of a stream and Benron is playing intermittently, I'm going to call it for the stream today. We'll be back on Monday, and hopefully we can play through an actual real-time game with this deck, test it out, and make some changes. I'm just really curious to see how this brand is, and if just this style of playing these banished target champions actually works. Bounce effects. Yeah, but in the meantime, have some epic games. I'll be back on Monday, 8.